What is wisdom and what it gives? Let's talk about wisdom and how we understand what it is. And now we will answer these two questions. What is this wisdom and how does it benefit us to have this wisdom? First, what is this wisdom? How do we understand it? There is this beautiful introduction by the wisdom himself in book of Proverbs. The Lord possessed me at the beginning of his work, the first of his acts of old. Ages ago I was set up at first, before the beginning of the earth. When he established the heavens, I was there. When he marked out the foundations of the earth, then I was beside him, like a master workman, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing before him always, rejoicing in his inhabited world and delighting in the children of men. And now, O sons and daughters, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Hear instruction and be wise, and do not neglect it. For whoever finds me finds life and obtains favor from the Lord. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Isn't this beautiful? Now, what is wisdom biblically speaking? As with many foundational questions, we Christians look for answers in the very beginning of the Bible, the book of Genesis, chapter 1. What do we learn from Genesis? Briefly, that's where we first learn about the triune God and about his identity. He is the creator. What does that mean? He speaks and he creates, he fashions and he orders, and he also establishes his good and wise design for his creation. And we can witness it today in creation as laws of nature or his laws of creation. But also we can see it in society. Similar deep principles, laws if you will, that govern everything. And the same is true also for our relationships. We can observe this wise design, test it, and it's not something narrow or static. It is more like a set of dynamic and powerful principles at work. Biblically speaking, to know this wise design, to know these laws, these dynamic principles, and then to strive to live accordingly, that is true wisdom. That is true wisdom. If such a thing as the Creator's good and wise design exists, if that is true, then what does it mean for you? How may you benefit from knowing it? And this is quite radical. Listen carefully. I'll give you a medical analogy. Testing your blood. How does it work? Take a sample and there is so much data. But then if you know the norm or the ideal and compare your results to that ideal, then it is easy to see what is good and what is not so good, where you are healthy and where you may have a problem. Makes sense. The same is true when we think about God's good and wise design for our lives, for our entire lives. If you know this wise design, this wisdom, then you can easily assess and diagnose and understand your life or the life of anyone else, to see what is healthy and good and what is not so healthy and not so good, and what is missing from the ideal, from this wise design, and what needs to be improved. This is what this wisdom gives to you. This is what this course and the whole Weisberg project is about. And this is quite radical and quite powerful and full of potential. And if this is true, then you can become a sage who understands these deep principles, someone who possesses true wisdom. Yes, you. Good. Now that we learn how we understand wisdom here at Weisberg and what incredible benefits it may give to those who possess it, let us learn about the second element in this wonderful synergy, about worldviews.